Today we're looking at what I call detention, and we start with the song, Lord, you are more precious than silver. Lord, you are more costly than gold. Lord, you are more beautiful than diamonds. There's nothing I desire compares with you. Want to enjoy God's presence, which is really what is the theme that we're covering now. But let's start with detention in terms of the school environment. Usually, if your child has misbehaved, when other children are, been let go at the end of the school period, the child usually will stay back in detention, as punishment for the misbehavior during the school period. And so when you come to pick the child, they tell you the child is in detention, you need to wait, but they accept that at detention. But there's also an example of someone being detained in scripture. 1 Samuel 21 verse 7. Now a certain man of the servants of Saul was there that day, detained before the Lord. And his name was Doeg, an Edomite, the chief of the herdsmen who belonged to Saul. Of course, there are different reasons why people could be detained before the Lord. If you recall, in terms of Leviticus, if you look at the law, sometimes the priest would detain someone that, had a case of leprosy to see, whether it would, progress. So that is an example of detention. Some people make vows, and so they stay in God's presence for the period. You remember Samuel's, staying in the presence of God and serving under Eli. So it could be because of the vows. It could be because it was during the Sabbath, and so the person will not be able to take their journey until after the Sabbath. So all of that could be the reasons for the detention. But I think what is important here is that if we're detained before the Lord, let it be for good, not for evil. This person was present when David came to, get weapon and provision, and he went and reported to Saul, and that resulted in a huge tragedy, to these spiritual leaders that were in that particular environment. So if we're detained or we're in God's presence, let it be so that it's advancing its purposes, and setting people free rather than causing harm.